Thom Hartmann here on the best of the rest of economic and labor news. You need to know this. The first Labor Day was celebrated in 1882, and it became a federal holiday 12 years later. The day was originally proposed as a working man's holiday and as a celebration of the many ways that trade and labor unions contribute to our nation. Today, more than 100 years later, millions of Americans enjoy their day off, but far too few of them appreciate the meaning behind the holiday. Without unions, people wouldn't be sitting around barbecues on the first Monday in September. However, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the benefits we enjoy because of the labor movement. Unions fought for the rights and protections that we often take for granted today, like the 5-day work week, paid overtime, pensions, workman's comp, and the list goes on. In addition to workplace protections, labor groups played an important role in the fight for civil rights, for equal pay for women, and for public education for our children. In 1953, at the height of union membership, 28.3% of Americans belonged to a labor organization. By 2013, only 11.3% of Americans were union members, and most of those workers were employed in the public sector. Despite all that we owe the men and women who fought for the right to organize, the war on unions still threatens everything that they worked for. These important rights and protections continue to be undermined and weakened by the corporate elite, and we need to do more to ensure that they're here to stay. The best way to protect our right to organize is to use it and ensure that unions and all the important rights that they fought for are still around for the workers of the future. The fight for women's equality in the workplace has come a long way, but on average, women still make 77 cents on the dollar compared to their male counterparts. However, one major retailer has announced that they're eliminating the gender pay gap between their workers. That clothing chain, The Gap, confirmed this to the Think Progress blog and said, "We pay people based on the work they do and the value they bring to our company." Even their lowest paid American workers earn at least $10 an hour after the company raised wages back in February. In addition to paying women equally, Gap Inc. also has more women in leadership roles than most of the chains in the retail industry. Women make up 70% of store managers and almost 50% of executive-level positions. Women at other top companies in the industry only make about 30% of the executives and 46% of store managers. Even in 2014, we're still fighting for women's equality, and it's important to recognize the businesses that are helping with that fight. Young people are not the only ones who are being affected by student loans. According to a new analysis by the Treasury Department, more than 150,000 seniors are losing part of their Social Security benefits to pay back outstanding college loans. The number of checks being garnished has tripled since 2006, and on average, seniors are losing $180 from their monthly benefits. Considering that the average Social Security benefit is only about $1,200, these garnishments make it even harder for seniors to get by. Social Security benefits were originally protected from creditors, but all that changed in 1996 when bankruptcy laws were changed to make student loans nearly impossible to discharge. Unlike other debt, there is no statute of limitations on student loans and almost no way for borrowers to avoid paying, even for low-income seniors. Corporations can easily escape the financial fallout of their bad decisions, but almost no one is able to get student loan relief after trying to work for a better future. It's time to change these unjust bankruptcy laws and help all students with a debt jubilee and then ongoing free college education. As if there was any doubt, now we know exactly who Mitch McConnell works for. In a recording of his remarks at a recent Koch brother-based hosted secret conference, the Senate Minority Leader explained that what he'll focus on if he's reelected in November. In the tape obtained by The Nation magazine, McConnell said he'll make sure that the Senate doesn't waste time, quote, debating all those gosh darn proposals, end quote, like an increase to the federal minimum wage or extending unemployment insurance. Senator McConnell promised the Koch brother crowd that he'll block funding to do this or do that, and explained that Republicans will go after Democrats on health care, on financial services, on the Environmental Protection Agency, and across the board. If you think the Congress couldn't become more dysfunctional, Mitch McConnell has news for you. This November, his constituents should make it clear that they prefer legislators who will actually work on those gosh darn proposals that Americans want enacted. And finally, treating employees and customers well pays off for business owners. RDT, the ousted CEO of supermarket chain Market Basket, is living proof. After RDT was pushed out of the company by the board of directors who wanted to maximize shareholder profit, customers and workers began a 41-day boycott and strike calling for his return. That strike and the media frenzy that followed allowed RDT to buy back his company and resume day-to-day operations. Many market basket workers have been with the company for over a decade, and they refuse to accept a new boss who raised prices, cut wages, and reduced quality. Customers also made it clear that they would shop somewhere else until RDT's return. Employees and patrons fought hard for a man who has fought for them for years, and together they have achieved success. RDT is back in charge as of last week, and the full purchase deal will soon be finalized. Whether it's standing up to bosses or standing up for them, there is nothing we can't achieve when we stand together. And that's the way it is for the week of September 1st, 2014. I'm Thom Hartmann on the Economic and Labor News.